Welcome back, everyone. In today's video, we are going to be talking about a 5-minute simple meditation that can really help you work through your stress and anxiety. And not just deal with it in the present moment, but it will provide lasting results for you. I've been meditating for about 5 years now, and through that time period, I've experimented with a lot of different meditations. And what I'm going to be sharing with you today is the most simple yet effective way of meditating that I have found, and I still use it on a daily basis, especially when I face stress and anxiety. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking right now, that you've tried a lot of different things for your stress and anxiety. You've tried all these different therapeutic routes, you've tried reading all these different books, and you've consumed so much information possibly on how to deal with stress and anxiety, and nothing seems to work for you. You might even have tried meditation and you feel like it hasn't worked. I understand that thought process, but what I'm here to tell you is that meditation, I personally think, is the best tool for stress and anxiety. It's not a pill. It's not going to provide you with on day one you're cured type of situation, but it will provide permanent results, and in a way that you can't even comprehend unless you give it a shot. Now, let's talk about stress and anxiety just a little bit before I share the technique I've used. Stress and anxiety are purely a response to something outside of you, some external situation. And it's typically an outcome of fear. We fear something occurring in the future. We fear something happening in our current life situation. For example, let's say you have a job interview and you're stressed out. You have fear over something about that environment, and most likely you have fear about a lot of the things that could occur in that interview. Will they like me? Are they going to offer me the job? Am I going to be able to answer all their questions? Do I look presentable? Like, all of these thoughts are actually manifestations of your fear and stress and anxiety. So now that we understand what we're targeting with this meditation, I'm going to walk through the simple steps that I believe are crucial for working through your stress and anxiety. The first step is to give yourself permission to feel your feelings. I know this sounds potentially a little stupid, but I promise you that oftentimes we are subconsciously and even consciously resisting our fears. We're resisting having to feel those feelings. But it's really important that you start your meditation off by giving yourself permission to feel your feelings. They'll start to come up on their own, and then you have something to work with. The goal of this meditation isn't to just be completely absent of thought. The goal of this meditation is actually to allow the feelings to come up so you can work with them. Now, once you have a feeling that has risen up, it is time to work with them. So bring your full attention and awareness into the feeling. This doesn't mean think about the feeling. Oftentimes that's a natural byproduct of having a negative feeling, as it just spins off a bunch of anxious thoughts and stressful thoughts. But the goal here is to bring attention and awareness to the feeling itself. And if you have difficulties with this, the most simple method is to feel your body. Notice tension in your body. For myself, the number one thing that I know happens when I'm feeling stress and anxiety is there's tension in my legs. And when you bring awareness to the tension in your body, it pretty much forces you into the present moment. It will automatically dissolve some of these thoughts that are just constantly being run through your mind. So once you are sitting in the feeling itself, I want you to observe the feeling. Oftentimes we feel that the feeling is going to provide a direct negative impact on us. We're scared it's actually going to hurt us. But in reality, the fear is in a sandbox in your mind. It can't do anything. It's very inert. We just believe that it can do a lot. So it's important to sit with the feeling. Observe it. What kinds of thoughts are coming out of your feeling? Does it cause you to feel a certain way? Does it cause a reaction in your body? Once you've spent some time understanding the feeling, you can even go and think about it a little bit. What might be causing this fear? Do I really need to be scared of this situation? And sometimes you might find that the situation itself is pretty unavoidable. You're guaranteed to have fear and anxiety around it. And then what I want you to do is, the next step is to accept your feeling. Accept it. And this is very nuanced. And I've spent probably the last 2 years understanding actually what it's like to accept a feeling. And it's not always easy. Accepting a feeling is giving it full ability to sit there. You're not trying to shove it away. You're not trying to completely eliminate stress and anxiety. It's almost paradoxical, because this whole meditation is trying to help you overcome your stress and anxiety. But the goal isn't to notice that you have a negative feeling and then just shove it away and chastise yourself for dealing with such a stupid and simple anxious thought. The second you go down that rabbit hole, you're actually defeating the purpose. It's not about judging the feeling. It's not about, am I strong enough? Or if I was, strong enough, I wouldn't have to deal with this negative feeling. And no one else feels this feeling in the world. It just happens to be me. And those kinds of thoughts are resistance to the feeling. So be careful to accept that feeling wholly and to let it go. Accept that what you're so scared of may never occur. And it's not occurring right this moment, for the most part. So, for example, if you are worried about a job interview happening later this afternoon, recognize that that interview isn't happening right now. It's okay to feel stressed and anxious in the actual interview itself, but even then, it's important that you accept those feelings and let them go and realize that there is no immediate harm to you. I find that 90%, if not more, of my thinking that revolves around stress and anxiety is all hypothetical. None of it really exists. It's my brain is creating a bunch of future outcomes that it thinks it needs to be scared of, because those in my mind are potential outcomes in the future. And what I'm going to share with you is that that is so wrong. How many times have you sat there and analyzed all these different outcomes that it could occur, and none of them actually end up occurring? If you looked back in a week, you'd be reminded that none of those things that you were scared about really happened. And even if one of them does occur, is thinking about it going to make you any more equipped to handle that situation? Most likely not. And your best route is to actually accept the feeling. Because when you accept the feeling, it provides permanent healing internally. And I'll leave that for you to discover on yourself. So to quickly summarize this meditation, first, allow yourself permission to feel the feeling. Let them come up. Once you feel a feeling or you have thoughts surrounding an anxiety that you're thinking about, place your attention and awareness on the feeling. Then, if you can't do that successfully, bring your awareness into your body. Any of us who are anxious and stressed will have a direct response in our body. There will be tension somewhere, and you got to find that. Because once you can sit into that tension and relieve it and let it go, it's really interesting how when you relieve tension in your body, your mind relaxes as well. Next, once you have this feeling and you've brought your awareness into it, accept the feeling. Stop trying to resist the feeling and let it just sit there. Just feel the feeling. And what you'll find is sometimes that feeling that you're so scared of, what is there really to be scared of? It's an inert feeling. There's nothing characteristically good or bad about the feeling itself. You just, based off of past experience, feel that a feeling is negative, and then add a whole bunch of extra mental layers onto that, and we carry around that baggage everywhere we go. So it's important to accept them and to not resist them and to not chastise ourselves for having those feelings. There's nothing wrong about having the feelings of being anxious. And that is it, friends. That is the most simple and effective way to not only start your day off in the morning, but you can do this throughout your entire day. The meditation I described is basically telling you to work through your feelings in an isolated space with your eyes closed in a relaxing environment for a certain amount of time. But the process I described here can permeate every aspect of your life. I do this process throughout my entire day, and I can honestly sit here and tell you that it is truly transforming my life internally. I do not have anxiety and stress about a lot of the things I used to. And instead, what sits there instead of the anxiety and stress is I'm so much more present in the moment. I used to deal with a lot of stress and anxiety surrounding social situations. It's still there every once in a while, but this technique has completely dissolved like 90% of that anxiety. So if you're wondering if this technique can work, I promise you from my own personal experience and the experience of so many other people that it works. So give it a shot. I hope that today's video helps you deal with your stress and anxiety in a more meaningful and permanent way. If you have any questions or anything you'd like to ask, hit the comments down below. As always, I really do appreciate a like and subscribe as it helps me grow my channel and reach more individuals who need this information. As always, I hope to see you in the next video. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day.